unprecedented bottom of the 420th inning. So there's a crack in the bat. It's hit. He's running. He's rounding first. He's rounding second, completely ignoring third base. Oh, he's sliding head first into 69th base with Doug Mellor.
What up? Welcome to 69th Base. This is Doug Mellor. This is the podcast where we highlight all the worst, dumbest shit that came out of the mouths of people like Skip Bayless, Will Kane, Colin Cowherd, and more. This week, we've got the very funny comedian Blake Wexler, real great guy who happens to be an Eagles fan. And, of course, you know we're going to clash. This week, we talk about Antonio Brown, of course. Mitchell Trubisky. Is his career over after 1 week of football? As well as Dak Prescott as the best quarterback of all time, and other overreactions from week one. And some really funny takes like some stuff on Brian Hoyer, which I didn't know could ever be as hilarious as it was, but it was. Also, we're going to get into Skip Bayless's hobbies. That's going to be a real fun stab. Guys, okay. It is week one. And people need to settle the fuck down. Jesus Christ. People are acting like it's either the end of the world or their team is going to go straight to the Super Bowl when we know the Patriots are going to win. So just wait a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, give it some time. It's still the preseason. Just relax. You got plenty more season to go. Also, guys, how fun is it this season to root against John Gruden? I mean, it was already so fun because as soon as he was hired for $100 million, which was unprecedented, 10 years, so ridiculous. Why would you seek out a coach that's been out of coaching for 46 years? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And then you hire him, and the first thing he says is, I'm going to bring it back to 1998. Why? Why would you do that? There was barely internet then. Players are completely different. You're a fucking idiot. Also, Mark Davis, the son of Al Davis, who has the haircut of a... Let's just say he looks like he is a giant penis head. That's the only way to put it. Just all these factors put together with the fact that Skip Bayless has stood by John Gruden makes me so excited to watch John Gruden's Raiders fall apart before they've even started. He got rid of Antonio. Well, he didn't get rid of Antonio Brown. That thing just blew up in his face. He got rid of Cooper to get Antonio. They got Martavis Bryant. That didn't work. He got rid of Khalil Mack. It's all the worst moves you could possibly fucking make, which I stand by the fact that I could be a fucking GM in this league. Just give me a job, guys. That's what this whole podcast is really about. I could go on, but man, do I feel validated to just... I know it's week one, and I was just talking about overreaction, but man, I feel pretty good about it. And Skip has to feel pretty fucking stupid, and that also feels fantastic. Guys, I'm going to bring in my guest. He's so funny. You guys are going to love him. Get ready. Hey, I am back with my guest. Very funny dude, Eagles fan, Blake Wexler, the wacky comedian. What a great intro.
Thank you. No, I am that's how I'm known around town, as the wacky comedian. It's my prop comedy that I find people like the most.
God, I fuck up every intro ever.
What are you going to do, a good job?
Yeah,
you know, like you can't fucking have a good intro.
Why would I do that?
No need.
You are an Eagles fan. You're from Philly, correct? Or
Correct.
Pennsylvania? Yeah. So you're a legit Eagles. Why am I doing this? I feel like I have to justify why I'm a Cowboys fan because so many people hate the Cowboys. But
of course.
Not every team is hated by everyone.
No, I don't think anyone would choose to root for that team.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of bullshit that the Eagles have dealt with over the years. Except I noticed when Michael Vick signed with them, actually.
Right.
Though there was some rough PR that went along with that,
a
lot of people started cheering for the Eagles because of how cool he was,
Whoa.
which was weird. So... yeah, that was the first time I ever met people who weren't from Philadelphia who were fans of that team.
Holy shit.
Right?
It's weird that Vic, after all that happened, they're like, yeah, let's root for that guy. He killed a bunch of dogs.
I know.
I mean, he did as good a job as he could to rehab his image, but there are obviously still plenty of people that are just like, fuck that guy forever.
Yeah.
But then in the grand scheme of things, not the worst guy in the NFL by far.
Turns out there's a lot of animals in that league. A lot of pieces of shit. Holy shit. Who would have seen that? Seriously.
Ugh.
And that's a guy where, as I like to think that I'm like the most progressive fucking person in the entire world, didn't bat an eye.
Yeah, I think
when
you
we
that
signed
way.
him.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm like, he's done his time.
Yeah.
He's rehabilitated himself.
Yeah, being a Cowboys fan, you have to just. Oh, yeah. Of course, we signed that. What was Greg?
He threw a lady on guns.
Yeah, on a stack of machine guns.
Yeah.
What's the fucking guy's name? Greg Hardy.
Right.
My fucking phone fucking knew. Yeah, Greg Hardy that killed people probably that we don't know about.
Oh,
and then
like, is that the worst crime that he had?
Yeah.
Like, oh, he just threw someone on guns.
Yeah, that's the thing that we know about. And then I think he went on to be an MMA fight. He like did a fight or two, which made all the sense in the world.
Oh, of course.
Like, yeah, that's probably a healthy outlet, honestly, for you. Like, at least beat someone that you're supposed to beat up, I guess.
Well, in his contract, he had like this clause where he'd fight anyone that they threw at him, but he'd have to fight them on guns. Yeah. Was the thing. Like, it couldn't be a standard mat. It had to be guns.
I think if you got thrown on guns, it probably wouldn't feel good.
They're weapons.
Yeah. And they're metal.
Thank you.
Wouldn't be great.
No.
And so we've talked about, but you are not, as you know, Skip Bayless. You're a big sports guy, so you know all these shit bags that we're gonna destroy here in a minute. They're such easy, fun targets, and I'm glad you're the guest this week because you're so funny, and
thank you.
This
Doug.
is kind of the best time to be on because the football season has started, so we really get to like tear into some dumb crap that they said, even dumber than usual.
Yeah, because they don't have any data yet. Not that they use it anyway, but like it's not like, oh, okay, this team is 6-2 or something. They're as dumb as they'll be all year. Like they're even dumber than usual.
Yeah. And but before we get into that, I always have something I want to get the take of the guest on this week. I've noticed whenever someone knocks at the door these days,
it's a cop with a warrant.
That's when the old neighbors live next door.
Yeah.
I think now I'm old enough. You're younger, but I'm old enough to remember, or you're probably old enough to remember, when a knock was at the door, it wasn't scary, or not even necessarily scary, but like now when there's a knock at the door, my wife and I look at each other like, what the fuck? Like, it's terrifying. Like, we don't have the app where you can look to see who's out there. It's just like, and you know, it's not actually like an axe murder, but in your head it initially is, or it's just like, who the fuck, what asshole is knocking on the fucking, because your friends don't even do that. You know what I mean? Like, your friends text you, I'm here. You guys, Mikey's here doing audio. Blake came, he texted, hey, I'm downstairs, and you know, like,
I didn't even use the call box.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary in its own right.
Yeah, you just text. That's what you fucking do. My wife and I will hug each other and say our goodbyes and then just start crying silently. And then I swear to God, this is not me exaggerating. What we'll do is I will army crawl to the door so that I'm not shifting weight, so there's no creak.
Oh, that's smart.
To then get up and look through the people and be like, all right, what's my fate? You know what I mean? And and then usually it's weird that there still can be like Mormons or whatever that like, I don't know how. We have a gate. Like, how the fuck did you get in here? Who let you in?
What are you talking about, Mormons? What are you saying?
They still go door to door. Like, do the
okay,
like,
that makes sense.
When you like look through and you see
no
like,
idea what the fuck? Like that's a religion? Is that what you're talking? So weird. Those guys are really stuck to their guns on that whole fucking Joseph Smith bullshit.
But I mean, are you the same way when it like you hear a knock at the door? Are you like terrified, or is this like a normal? Do people just knock on your door normally?
No. I'm the same exact way. It's terrifying because you know, if anything's coming to your door, I feel like in this day and age, you know it's coming. Like if it's a friend, you know, like you said, you would get a text or something. Even if it's like if I ordered something online, I'm tracking it all day.
Right.
You know, I know it's gonna come at some point. But if there's just a random knock, it could be just your like a neighbor with no personal boundaries. And, we get asked to sign shit a lot. You know, we have this activist neighbor that like it's not for a good cause. It's just always something weird. So yeah, I think universally it's a bummer. Why would you knock?
It's such a shock. It's just so like.
the doorbell's really scary. Like that's what the hell is out there? Like this person, they don't have the bone structure to knock. Yeah. So what are they packing? Kind of weird
like
knife.
It just ruins your night. Like even if it's sometimes we'll order from a grocery place around the corner because we're lazy.
I love it.
And even when we know they're coming, we kind of have to like flip a coin over who's gonna like even spend the 5 seconds talking to that person because it's like just social interactions with anyone else is the worst. Like,
it's hot. It's hot out. It's hot out. It's hot out. It's fucking hot out. Here's your tip.
Give me my shit and go. Just knock on the door. Yeah, I guess I have to sign the shit or whatever. But anywho, let's get into the shit that we're really here for. I up top ranted about a couple things. One, it's week 1, and I just get so tired of how quickly, and you kind of hinted on it, how quickly people just jump to conclusions over hearing people talk shit about how great their team is or how bad a team. Like the Dolphins, we can all verifiably say are done. That's the one team where we can all say that was not an aberration. This is what their next couple years are going to be. But outside of that, we don't know what the fuck is going on, like slow your fucking wad. But and then the other thing is the main thing. Skip Bayless has I think he's slowly sliding off this bandwagon, but he has defended John Gruden, and I am so excited to root against John Gruden this year.
Oh yeah.
It makes me so fucking happy. And not even the Skip thing. That's just the cherry on top. But just the idea that like he was so sought after for so long.
For like 10 years.
Yeah, and people are still going after Bill Cowher. This might hurt that, but like But the first thing he says is, I'm going to take this thing back to 1998. And it's like, as soon as I heard that, I already knew it was going to be bad. But when he said that, I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you?
He hasn't watched football in 30 years.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
And then this whole Antonio Brown thing. I mean, so many things. Like the Khalil Mack trade right away. Mm-hmm. We want character guys. Khalil Mack is a character guy. Amari Cooper is a character guy. Then you bring in fucking Antonio Brown, you maniac. What is wrong with you? And boy,
he's such a weird guy too.
Yeah.
Where my favorite part of Hard Knocks was his tan. Where he had one of those where I don't know if you're like this, but when I'm outside, I will, if I'm wearing a hat, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be careful to take it off sometimes just so like my forehead isn't just as like the whitest thing on earth and the rest of my face is oddly tan. And I guess I am kind of vain that way, but he could not give less of a shit where he has this weird neck tan where like because he'll put his head back. So he's totally tan, but then he has this like fold, like where his neck folds into itself, this like white stripe across the back of his neck. It's sick. Like you got to watch it. It's awesome.
I can't believe that you noticed that, and I love that you did.
Of course.
I usually notice shit like that. I'm surprised I didn't, but now I'm going to watch all 4 episodes over.
You gotta.
And
you'll love it. He has a hat tan, like his head's like behind his ears are white. It's great. Everyone listening will relate and love it.
I guess.
But you were saying you can't wait to and I don't know why I'm hosting this for you.
But. No. Like, sorry, I just got a headache thinking about him. I just think he's garbage. I think $100 million for 10 years was an immediate mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so great to already see it playing. Like they won 4 games. Was last year's first year? Yeah. 4 games,
says yes.
And now it's like his second year, starting off with a bang. Like we've currently recording. We got the Saints Texans game on, so the Broncos and Raiders are coming up next, but. I just love how much he's going to be hounded about AB for the rest of the season, regardless of what happens.
For his quote-unquote career, I guess, right? Yeah. It's so weird.
Do you think he already wants out of his contract?
I don't even know if he has a brain.
Right.
Where I just don't know if he knows I think he still thinks, I think jobs are just jobs to him. So he doesn't see coach job, analyst job. It's just, you kind of point him in a general direction and he kind of like, ticks over. Like I don't think he knows that he's coaching.
He gets mad, but I think it's more about him. Like, it's just like he's like, people are looking at me. I think he likes himself, a lot of him.
He's very aware that people are always looking at him.
Yeah. the fucking counting to 3 backwards thing. That was so goddamn bizarre.
What was his reasoning for that? Was that like a concussion thing where he was?
He told the story behind it, but
In my mind, it was how to like cheat a DUI.
yeah, which is a good thing to know.
And we should all learn that. Put your time in.
But it just felt like he was bragging, and it was like, dude, that's not hard. And he said, I think he said when he was telling the backstory that like how long it took him to do it. And it's like anybody could do that. Like you're fucking dumb. So we have to really get on this AB thing. And it's weird because there's not a lot to debate on it really. Like all these jackasses are talking about it, but I wanted to talk about, and this is like 400 Antonio Brown stories ago at this point.
Right.
But I do recaps of the previous week, and my favorite thing was last week, First Take had Terrell Owens on to talk about Antonio Brown, and that was just art. He said AB is going about it the wrong way and should apologize. And I think if Terrell Owens is telling you need to fucking watch what you're doing, you got some fucking problems. And
my God.
And again, this was before what all has happened since then. This was like probably Thursday, I bet. So the video,
cinematic video.
Yeah, the art film.
Yeah, the beautiful art film.
I think I texted you about that.
You sent that to me.
That was fucking insane.
I thought that you were doing a bit like I trust you implicitly, but I had to verify that where I'm like, did Doug find some weird account that made that? And no, he posted that.
Ah, man, now I'm upset at myself
it's
for
still
not.
up, by the way. He hasn't taken it down.
Yeah. I wish I had made other fake ones because people would believe it, at this point. Like, you could just like a guy putting clown makeup on and spilling blood all over himself to weird music, and then
there he
Antonio's voice in the background, like, look at what he posted now, like, oh God. But there was that, and then there was, what was the other? Oh, he posted that phone call. Was that the same thing?
That was the same one.
Oh yeah, that was the same thing.
And then he posted his reaction to being released.
That was it. Yeah. The I'm free.
Yeah.
Free from fucking what?
$50 million.
Yeah, God.
His $50 million or however much it was. It might have been that.
And now there's all the conspiracies. Have you heard all that shit?
Yeah.
That like he
planned it from the start. Though.
Yeah, like he was asking social media consultants, like, how do I fucking... I want to see that all play out. There's so many fucking weird... Who the fuck knows? I don't know how you can debate this.
Well, there's no better type of person than a social media consultant.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with just a guy's guy, go to a bar with a social media consultant.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's nuts, man. Like speaking of Terrell Owens, he played for both of our favorite football teams.
Yeah.
And before he played for yours, he blew up the Eagles. And I remember one day this was like before Twitter or anything.
Yeah.
And there was a rumor on ESPN that he had overdosed and tried to commit suicide.
Whoa. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you do? Okay, good. And I remember I was a kid, I was in high school, and I went up to my teacher and I was like, oh my God, like, Mr. What's-Your-Face, T.O. tried to kill himself. And my teacher just went, good. And then he just walked to the front of the class and started teaching. Like, he was completely unfazed.
Shit.
It was like right during, like after the
sit-ups
and the driveway thing. And that's just a standard Philadelphia fan where it's like, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to pill himself to death.
By the way, what a weird thing. Like, T.O. accomplished so much.
Yeah.
But the first thing you think about is him doing sit-ups in a driveway.
Crazy.
That's a weird thing to be famous for.
Yeah, and
when
he's
you're
a
much
Hall
more
of
famous
Famer.
for other things.
Right.
Yeah,
He's one of the most talented football players of all time. Also homophobic. Very homophobic.
Oh, yeah. I
to
forgot
Jeff
about
Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Jeff Garcia.
Good God. Did you see Antonio's latest the Patriot Way post?
No.
Oh, man. I should have shown it to you earlier. So he gets signed by the Patriots. It was just really crazy over the weekend where it felt like every 7 minutes there was a new story that was, he's doing what now? And then it got to where it was like, anything like you're expecting like insanity, but
everything was believable.
Yeah, but he posted a caricature like you would get at a state fair of him in a Patriots uniform on a stack of money, and it said the Patriot Way.
This guy's employing like a bunch of college students to run his like art department. That weird video, caricature.
Got a clown to draw him.
Yeah.
But I guess the real debate, the only debate they're doing, everybody's kind of no one's really like making dumb takes on this because it's just crazy. But are the Patriots? Skip Bayless now says the Patriots are less of a threat because they have him, because they destroyed the fucking Steelers yesterday without him.
Yeah.
So he's saying he's actually a liability. But if that
Not on
conspiracy,
that- they
it's
can
so hard.
cut him.
Yeah. They can just get rid of him. I
Yeah.
don't think, even if he's a total fucking headache, there is no way that like it gets in the way of the Patriot way, in quotes. Like unless he kills people, unless he like goes on a spree,
Right.
which I don't
Hey,
know.
listen, that'll never happen. All right, that has never happened. It would never happen. You're out of your goddamn mind bringing that shit up. Here's a question I have for you: do you include Stephen A. Smith? In these? Oh, you do.
Any of those shows.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
It's all
Because I've done a 180 on him.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's become so goofy.
it's
that
over the top wrestler.
I love
yeah,
him.
Yeah, I actually don't pick on him as much. Last week we picked on him because he corrected Keyshawn Johnson when he brought up Jimmy G. He said, "Don't call him Jimmy G, call him Jimmy Pornstar," because he went on a date with a porn star or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just kind of a weird thing to like, hey man, you're going out the
Senile.
porn star, you fucking nerd, you know? And then his whole take on like, get off the weed. Like, it's like a weird thing to like,
Yeah.
he's just like this over the top square kind of, you know, he's just like this kind of like nerd. But his takes for the most part,
We
he
know
can be
what he's-
obnoxious, but he knows what he is a cartoon. Like Mikey said, he was a living cartoon. And that's kind of
That's a
sums
great
him
quote.
up. Yeah.
And I like the cartoon now, where
Yeah.
because he does have like he was a journalist. You know, he wrote for the Philadelphia Inquirer
Oh,
for
right.
years
Yeah,
and
yeah,
was
yeah.
awesome at it. And then he was. I think he's just fully embraced being a cartoon.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a cartoon that I like to watch.
Yeah.
Where with Skip Bayless is like nobody asked for this cartoon. This cartoon sucks.
Yeah.
He's
This
like a
cartoon is
Geraldo
canceled.
Rivera cartoon. No one wants to watch this.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
likable.
The live action one's bad enough.
Yeah, there
you
are
know?
definitely people that hate Stephen A. Smith because it's too much for them. I get that, but his takes aren't like the people that I really can't stand are the people with the takes that are just like, what kind of attention are you trying to get, or
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like validation, all that. Stephen A. Smith, he said some dumb shit here and there, but overall,
for
he's,
sure.
I don't know, he's kind of harmless. He wants to be liked, and like that's much better than wanting to be hated, I guess. But-
Yeah.
and I guess moving backwards, we'll move backwards and then come back to like yesterday's action. But because we're doing a recap, this is fun because, again, it's recap of week 1. We get to see where everybody was fucking wrong, which is great, and point them out. Colin Cowherd is already saying Mitchell Trubisky is fucking done. And I think it's, again, a little bit early to be saying shit. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's ever going to be.
Has anyone?
Yeah. No
You know?
one. I thought it was. I was definitely like scratching my head like most people when he got drafted.
He was number 1, right?
2. They traded up in the number 2 slot to get him.
He didn't go to Carolina, did he? Was he? Did he go to
Yeah, North Carolina.
Crazy.
And
well, that's a football powerhouse.
yeah. Everybody knows when you think of North Carolina. You don't think of basketball. You think of their football program.
I think of their famous power forward Julius Peppers. When
yeah.
I think of
yeah.
Carolina football.
But he didn't play great on Thursday. But I'm just so sick of these fucking anything week 1 again, and this is gonna happen more and more as we go on. But just calm the fuck down. Like, it was a bad game, but he didn't play one preseason snap. So that was his fucking preseason. The Green Bay defense looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And like, it's he's a couple years in, like
Maybe 3 years in.
yeah. So
There's no way to know for sure.
I don't think he's gonna be better than Mahomes, which was drafted later, or Watson, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's just hey, let's fucking completely give up on this guy after one game this week, like.
For sure.
And they have a good enough team to like. He played okay last year. Wasn't
a
the
good
best, wasn't the
defense.
worst. Yeah.
I mean, when the Eagles beat them in the playoffs off some weird flukiest kick of all time, where that double doink kick.
Yeah.
That poor. By the way, that kicker is one of the most accurate kickers of all time, and I don't know if he'll ever get another job in the league. It's crazy.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That was their. That's so funny. Like the Bears' whole offseason was, who's the kicker gonna be?
Yeah, that coach had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, yeah.
What's his name? Matt Nagy.
Yeah,
totally lost his mind.
The way they auditioned these fucking kickers was insane.
Really weird.
Again, going back to, hey, everybody, slow the fuck down. You're an Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Cowboys fan,
Yes.
but I am not super high on Dak. But we did see some good things. Yes, he had a perfect QBR, which is crazy.
Damn.
But even though he missed a few throws, even Troy Aikman was like, what the fuck? How can you have a perfect QBR when you miss like a few throws? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck is that then? It's a weird stat. But Will Kane and Skip Bayless both were just gloating so hardcore that, like, Kane was saying shit like, I am validated. Just like I said, he's a top 10 quarterback, and all you guys can see it now, and he's definitely better than Carson Wentz. As an Eagles Carson Wentz guy, do you think that's a definitive proof after one game against the Giants?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been put to rest. And for me, even though I am an Eagles fan, it's good to not have that argument anymore.
Yeah.
At least I can clear that off my plate.
Yeah.
Of course, big time. It's so weird. Yeah. Here's the thing I just realized that is his name Will Kane?
Will Kane, yeah.
And Skip Bayless are two guys who are very, very close to being handsome, but they're not handsome. Where, like, they're both, like, 7.8s. And they're guys who behave like they're God's gift to, like, to television. And they both look a little weird.
Yeah.
Like...
It's because there's evil in their hearts.
Yes, yeah, it's aging them at a bizarre rate. Not necessarily rapidly, but it is putting them on a weird aging path. Yeah.
I'm glad you
and I don't know how you're going to get this back on track after
No,
I
don't know how you I'm happy for you that you have that weight lifted off your back.
Thank you so much.
It's just over.
So what are your opinions on him? Because he has a payday coming up.
Yeah.
What do you think about, like, do you want...
I don't want him to get $40 million. I think that's a huge mistake.
Right.
And Jerry, after that game, also he immediately said, right after the game, it's imminent, it's coming, which made it sound like he's just fucking reacting from what he saw playing the goddamn Giants, who got rid of their best two defensive players, Landon Collins and Olivier Vernon, or what's his name, Vernon
No,
Olivier,
you're right.
or whatever. And so we're basically played a second string team. To my theory on yesterday's game, he played great, and I'm not taking away, like, great fucking game.
He was great yesterday.
It's what I want to see, but I want to see that all season long, or 12 out of 16 games. Like, I want to see this all the fucking time, not just one game against the goddamn Giants, because I feel like I could have thrown 2 touchdowns yesterday, like, pretty easily. I could have got, like, on your shoulders or something. We could have...
By all means, and I'm available
for
that activity.
We both ate the Giants. It'd be fine. And once we got up a little bit, it looked like the Giants gave up pretty quickly.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, like they have Saquon. They're like probably yelling at him, "Get on defense!" Like
run this child into the ground.
Yeah, like I don't know. I want to see a little bit more than one fuck. I cannot stand that kind of braggadocious shit when there's very little proof. And what's great though is, like, if it doesn't work out, it's so much funnier later to, like, throw it in their face. And again, pointing it out one more time, Skip Bayless last year after the Tennessee Titans game, before we got Amari Cooper, he took a video of this, took off his Dak Prescott jersey and threw it in the trash. And he said, "I am done with Dak Prescott." And he's still we got on that run, and then he's, like, back on the bandwagon.
He
and
dug it out of the trash.
Yeah. But he didn't make that video.
No.
It's fucking. Let's let it play out a little bit. I don't know.
It's weird where it's either with quarterbacks, there's no, and in general, like, just with language and society, everything's one thing or it's the other thing.
Right.
There's no gray area, but particularly in quarterback contracts, where I would, if I was a fan of your team, like, if I saw Dallas give Dak Prescott that Jimmy Garoppolo contract or something, and that's who Dak Prescott is, but there's not a worse thing that could happen to your team, and I'm not cheering against it. We've been as friends and fans of big rival teams. I think you and I don't really talk too much shit ever, because it always comes back around with the Eagles.
Right.
I think we've always been very civil with one another.
Yeah,
I don't think
for
we've
sure.
ever.
And man, and I've preached it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a very realistic fan where it's like the Cowboys always fuck it up. They'll, I'll believe it when we fucking see it.
Yes.
I think we do have the best team we've had in a long time, and we maybe could go on a run. You're the one team I'm fucking nervous about.
Right.
But I don't think people like Will Kane should be like saying shit that like Dak is definitively better than Wentz.
Sure.
He also played pretty fucking well yesterday against we're playing the Redskins next week. So if Dak has a perfect QBR next week, that'll be a notch,
That'll settle it.
Yeah, that will be definitive proof. But the top 10 thing also, I can easily say I want Mahomes over him, Rodgers, help me out here, Breeze, probably Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, that's
Foles,
5.
Foles.
Yeah.
Foles.
Who's now dead.
No, yeah. I wouldn't pick Foles over him. This year.
maybe,
I mean, I would, but I wouldn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Deshaun. Yeah, he's a questionable. Deshaun Watson.
What about the Ravens quarterback, who's the greatest player of all time?
Oh, Lamar Jackson
Yeah.
after one game. Yeah, against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucking nuts.
He's trending upwards for sure.
Dude, he's a guy that the Patriots tried to draft.
Oh,
They tried to trade
yeah.
up. Or actually, it was the Eagles pick that the Ravens drafted him with. We traded that pick to the Ravens.
Right.
And it could have gone to the Patriots. So how much would it suck to see Tom Brady? And then even if we didn't see Lamar Jackson that game, he's a really exciting player. Just knowing that he was waiting in the wings in that system would be such a bummer.
Belichick with a mobile quarterback would be
Yeah.
a fucking nightmare.
Ugh.
Keeping on the same track of too early predictions or whatever. Jason Whitlock, you know Jason Whitlock?
Oh, he's my favorite. You've read his manifesto, right?
No.
Like his undefeated shit that he would send. Oh, I'll send. So Jason Whitlock started the undefeated.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
Yes.
And he would send these emails to he was ousted from it because he was so crazy, which is hard to do, like to be ousted from that. But he would send emails with like these very combative, like it's us against the world emails, even though everything was going fine there. And he would send quotes from like Malcolm X and like very, very well-known people. And he would also, in the same context, quote himself from previous. Deadspin did a great story on Whitlock and how crazy he was. You'll go nuts. Spend your that should be your night. It's
God
so
damn it.
funny. It's great. I believe it was Deadspin.
He is. Yeah, he's maybe my least favorite of all these guys. Well, now Skip and Will Kane's my least favorite, but
Yeah.
Skip and Jason Whitlock right there. But Whitlock, what's funny, you're bringing up this Malcolm X thing. Like, it's funny that he'll quote him, but he hates Colin Kaepernick, it seems.
Sure.
That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
The guy has no compass.
Not at all.
His compass is he has no idea which direction to go.
He is. It's just all about the hot take in the fucking worst way.
Yeah.
And I don't think he gives a shit about who likes him or who hates him.
Dude,
Everybody
I'm
fucking
obsessed
hates
with
that guy.
him. He's the weirdest guy in
Yeah,
the entire
yeah.
world.
God, I want to just hang out with that guy for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Give him so much shit. But he brought up, this is a real question. After week 1 of the NFL, is it too early to write off the Cleveland Browns? I fucking love it.
It's great.
And they look like shit. And I'll say,
Yeah.
after all the hype, it was kind of fun to see them get ripped.
Who didn't see that coming?
Yeah.
It's the Browns.
Yeah. It was fucking beautiful. And it was even better because they were beat by a team that has no quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Mariota does not count as a quarterback.
Incredible.
He is definitely someone I would take Dak over. Or no, I would take Dak over.
Yeah, you
Mariota.
said that right. Yeah. Do you remember when Goodell, who had, I would say, at least a year to learn, like the year Mariota was drafted, we knew that he was going to be one of the first 2 players taken. So he had a whole year to familiarize himself. Even if he didn't study him, he would have just by being around football learned his last name. And he introduced Marcus Mariota with the 2nd overall pick of the Tennessee Titans select Marcus Mariota. And it was such a brutal pronunciation. And I'm like, God damn it, this guy is such a pile of shit.
Goodell's the best. He's really good at what he does.
He really is remarkably consistent. You know whatever he does is going to be the exact opposite from what should happen, and he never never disappoints in that he always disappoints.
Right. We can all. I'm a huge fan of Roger Goodell. I know. I saw some weird contest a while back about like how you could like win a dinner or something with Roger Goodell. It's like, who the fuck would want to do that? That'd be the worst night of my life.
You could lose a dinner with Roger Goodell.
You could send an enemy to a dinner with Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a dinner or something like that, though. Where it's like, who gives a fuck? Like,
It was a brunch.
I would, when the Browns kind of started turning things around, there was a part of me, it's like, man, it'll be fun to see if they do a big turnaround after having like one of the worst seasons of all time. But it got to where the Baker's so egotistical, Odell Beckham Jr. is so egotistical. After a while, after you hear so much shit, hearing Delaney
Jarvis
Walker,
Landry, too.
Yeah.
No one even talks about him anymore.
Yeah,
because those other two guys make him look like a humble,
fucking
wide receiver. Yeah.
But did you hear what Delaney Walker had to say about them? Oh, he was in the locker room after the game. By the way, biggest shoulder muscles I've ever seen in my life. I was scared.
Jesus. What position does he play?
Tight end for the
right,
Titans.
Right.
And he's pretty great. And despite not having a quarterback, he every once in a while somehow gets a pass thrown to him. But he was like, we knew who they were or something like that.
No, they were who we thought they were.
Yeah, they were.
He lifted that line from Danny Green.
That was the most fucking beautiful thing to hear in a press conference, like after a game, like just really shitting on him. I hope that doesn't like light a fire for next week or whatever. But my whole take before the season, when I was picking division winners in the first episode, I thought Cleveland would be too full of themselves and implode at some point, and it feels like
well done.
It's a good, and again, first week I'm not going to be like, this is it, write them off, and that's the whole point of bringing this up. I think it's ridiculous to write them off, but I think if this continues to happen, then it's gonna. OBJ's not getting enough passes. Jarvis, like,
he's got that watch.
Oh my God, how crazy was that?
So sick.
Jesus, wearing a $350,000 watch on the field. I thought I heard that story wrong.
No, it was it's like, oh my God, a $35,000 watch. What a fucking dude. Let's put it in terms of that. $35,000 is $3,500, like a $3,500. Like I could picture like a $900 watch like that. I can conceptualize, but a $3,500 watch is insane. It's add so many more zeros.
Jesus
it's crazy.
Christ.
It's fucking nuts.
But I thought I heard it wrong that he had it on the field, right?
Oh, he wore it for the whole game
while he was playing a game,
as if it was a sweatband.
That shows everything about the Cleveland Browns you need to know, which is just like
all show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's OBJ. Like, have you seen the front of his car?
No.
He has an orange. I don't know what the car is, but like a very expensive.
It was a Honda Civic.
Like some crazy Rolls Royce or something. And the little hood ornament is him doing the catch.
Incredible. Incredible.
So I feel like if that's the guy leading your team with one of the most egotistical quarterbacks, I don't know. There could be some tension at some point for sure. Do you know about the whole Colin Cowherd, Baker Mayfield tiff?
I don't.
So Colin Cowherd had Baker Mayfield on. He had been talking shit about he didn't like Baker coming out of college. Not because he's like a bad quarterback. It's just he didn't like all the like extracurricular shit and talking all the smack. And didn't he get arrested at some point? He did a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah. It's the NFL.
Yeah. He's a guy, man.
He's a bro.
He's a fucking bro. He's gonna get arrested.
Yeah. I wish Blake's drinking a Miller Lite. I wish you just smashed the Miller Lite can on your forehead right after you did that. But yeah, he talked shit, and then Baker came on, talked shit right back, and it's become this rivalry where Baker was like selling anti-Colin Cowherd T-shirts.
That's funny.
And what's funny is Colin Cowherd's whole thing is that he's immature, but now Colin, of course, today just fucking destroyed, like just piled on. They lost. I told you, and it's just so funny to me that like he continues to like pile on Baker about being immature, but won't let this fucking
this little feud.
Yeah. It's like you're in your fucking 50s or 60s, man.
You're an old man.
Yeah. Like
you're a dad.
You're going at like a fucking 23-year-old, maybe.
Here's a guy I used to not like, Ryan Russillo.
Yeah.
And I used to put him in the same category as like the cowards, and
he's kind of cocky, but yeah,
he's like a bro, but I've listened to him more and more, and I've come to like him. Where he told
Me
this,
too.
I've become to like. He's become a human being. Where just one day he was on Bill Simmons' podcast, and started talking about the worst year of his life, and he was like, "Yeah, man, like I wasn't getting paid any money, like I had just gotten fired from being a minor, like the second announcer in a minor league baseball stadium. My girlfriend left me because I couldn't afford to take her anywhere cool." And he was being so vulnerable, like emotionally vulnerable. I'm like, this dude's sick. Like, I get it. And I'm like, oh, he's self-aware. He is actually very self-aware of like how much of a meathead he tries to come off as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've really done a 180 on him. I really like that guy.
I'm the same way. Like, I feel like for a long time I thought he talks about lifting weights all the time.
Right.
And like,
I'm putting 250 on.
Yeah. And he talks about a lot of douchey shit, but he is self-aware.
Right.
And I didn't hear that part. That makes it even better for me. But I feel like he knew what he was talking about. He wasn't going for any hot takes, which I think is why he was fired. I think he basically got replaced by Will Cain.
Yeah.
Because Will Cain would be a guest on his show all the time. I haven't looked into it fully, but then Will Cain ended up taking his fucking slot.
Right.
And so it's weird because now Will Cain, like, Russillo's almost like disappeared out of, like, he still has like a podcast and all that, but he's not really on ESPN. Like,
dude, it's that fucking
I kind of feel
network.
bad for him.
I think he'll be fine. And also,
and I think that shows that like he's a better person, maybe.
Yes.
So they were like, you're not a dickhead. So we had to hire. I think when Max Kellerman was hired, that was their attempt at hiring the next Skip Bayless, but he wasn't.
Max was also a very smart person.
Yeah,
before
he's
he
not
started
terrible.
doing that.
Yeah, he's
gotten worse. He's gotten a lot worse.
Yeah, he can say some horrible shit, and he definitely, I don't know, he's somewhere in the middle.
He plays the game.
But I think he wasn't as hot takey, and so when Will Cain started coming on Russillo's show, he was the reason they were like, you're a younger, shittier Skip Bayless. You're hired. And then he booted fucking Russillo, who I think they're still friends, maybe, which has to be fucking weird to just like, hey man, I brought you on as a favor, and now that got me fucking fired, basically. Like,
dude, it's so it's almost a cosign of, like, if ESPN either phases you out or fires you, it's almost a perfect cosign of like, oh, you're an intelligent, interesting person.
Right.
Where if you think of the people that they've gotten rid of, Bill Simmons, who is very easy to make fun of, but I really like him. I think he's awesome. I think he hires great people. He's launched a lot of great careers. Jamel Hill, I think, is phenomenal.
Yeah, man, she's awesome.
She's perfect. And then there's so many other, what's his face? The guy in Miami. Who clearly I'm a huge fan of his. Fucking what's his face? The guy in Miami. He had a show.
Dwayne
his dad
Wade.
was on it. Dwayne Wade,
Marino.
thank you. It was Justice Winslow. The ESPN personality in Miami. You know who I'm talking about. Not Stu Gatz. That fucking weird.
Dan Le Batard?
Yeah, Le Batard.
Yeah.
It's also a very intelligent person, and
I love him because he makes fun of Will Cain constantly. They have like
of course.
feud.
Yeah, because Le Batard's intelligent.
Yeah.
And he cares about coming off as intelligent.
Yeah.
And Russillo's going to be phased out. I don't have inside information. It's just you can see it's going to happen.
Oh,
He's
this
being
is inside
phased
information
out.
for
yeah,
sure.
and by the way, I'm embedded, and I'm on the payroll. So it's almost a cosign of, oh, this is a person that I want to see speak. If you're fired by ESPN, that's a person that I want to see have a successful career, or I give a shit to hear about what they have to say.
Jamel Hill was fired just for saying real shit. Like, it was kind of insane.
Like, yeah, it's unbelievable. She's amazing.
Yeah, I love her. Want to move on to the next topic, though.
No, I'm not.
Even
done.
though I'm so glad. Yeah. You're just like, back to Russillo.
You're doing such a good job hosting. I keep going off on tangents.
No. I love it, man. And I was glad we got Tuck to Russillo because I've come to love that guy, and I feel, and I love telling, I guess, the origin story of the shitty Will Cain. I really think that's what happened. I'm not 100% on that, but as far as I know, he started guesting. But what's really been awkward, I've heard a couple interviews where Will Kane has had Russillo on,
Mm-hmm.
and you can almost feel it in their voices where Russillo's kind of like, yeah, glad to be back on my show, basically. Like, that's got to be awkward, but it's big of him to fucking even be back, and it helps him too, I guess. But, like, it's got to suck to just go, like,
Swallow
know that this fucking blowhard just fucking took over.
Because he sold his soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if he has one.
Yeah, I don't know. That's debatable. Moving on to the next topic, though. This is a fun one. This has nothing to do with any of the scores this weekend or whatever, but I thought this was so fucking hilarious. Back to Skip Bayless and just his obsession with Tom Brady. That borderline is insane. There was an actual topic for adults on a TV show. Should we feel bad for Tom Brady because they cut Brian Hoyer? First of all, you should never feel bad for Tom Brady.
Period.
Why would we? He has everything.
Well, he'll never feel bad either because his brain is going to be so destroyed.
Yeah.
By the time he retires, he won't be able to feel anything.
Also, why is this a question? And
It's so weird.
Here are all the arguments real quick. I'll lay them out. Skip Bayless says that he felt bad for him because he would vent to Hoyer about Bill Belichick. So why?
Also, maybe not true.
Yeah. Also, that's just a fucking assumption from an insane person. And, like, is Bill Belichick supposed to keep him on the payroll so he can talk shit about him? Like,
no, he's an assistant. He's a $20 million assistant.
Yeah. And
Or
then,
six.
yeah. Like, what did he? I don't know. And he said that he leans on him when times are tough.
Sure.
Because times are always tough for Tom Brady. Also,
well, there was a week or two period where they were on the road and he couldn't kiss his son on the mouth. And that was a very tough time. He couldn't make out with his own son.
Oh man, he couldn't do that
It
slow
was
mouth
terrible.
kiss?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's
And
why his completion percentage dropped to 81% because he couldn't kiss his son.
And Brian Hoyer was there for that. He's like, look, man, he actually
I get it.
ended up flying his son out.
His own son. No, Brian Hoyer flew out Brian Hoyer's own son so Tom could kiss him.
Oh, but he was like, pretend it's your son.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I see.
Yeah.
Man,
And I don't mean to correct you.
No. I'm starting to feel bad for Tom Brady now. Like,
Yeah.
That's going a long way for a buddy. You know
Great
what I mean?
friend.
Yeah.
A great friend.
It's
That was reason number 2. He was always there.
Yeah. He also said it's not a pretty sight what he has to do, Tom Brady, with Bill Belichick, which is like, win 6 fucking Super Bowls?
Ugly.
What a fucking tragedy. Jesus. And this, of course, is all his positioning for, what's the new kid, Stidham, whoever the backup is, the new kid that was drafted this year.
No idea.
That's why Hoyer was cut. This is his like conspiracy theory thing that like Bill Belichick wants to prove that he can win without Brady, so he's fast tracking the new backup. So that's why they cut Hoyer, because that will hurt Tom Brady, and then we can get this new kid in there, cut Brady after this year, which like I feel like Skip's been saying that for like 5-10 years. Like,
yeah.
The Garoppolo, Brissett, all these guys like come in.
Right.
He's like
Castle.
Yeah. Matt.
That young whippersnapper.
Matt Castle. Who else? There's been like 4. Brian Hoyer 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Again, this is this is part 2.
Do you feel sorry for Tom Brady in and of itself is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's so wild.
And Skip Bayless has said some fucking dumb shit.
God, I can't even imagine. Like, that's the job security that he has there, by the way.
Right.
That was not only pitched as a segment, but they greenlit that.
Yeah.
Just the falsest of premises.
That's what's crazy is I think all of the questions are questions that Skip wants. I don't think Shannon, and even think about the name. It's like Skip and Shannon Undisputed. That's
Skip
weird.
and Shannon
Yeah.
Undisputed. And it's like, wait, hold on.
I
Why
think
is his font so much smaller?
Yeah. I think Shannon's name is also all of it. It's fucking obnoxious. We'll move on to some quick takes. Staying on with Skip. Skip said in a Dak segment he wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers on the Cowboys.
Yeah. Why? Why take that loser?
Yeah, he's a real and over the years he has become kind of more and more obnoxious, but he said his leadership would crush the Cowboys. I don't know if you know this, but Aaron Rodgers is 1,000 times better than Dak Prescott.
And how old is Aaron Rodgers? 35?
Yeah.
It's really hard that I could be rendered speechless by a comment.
Right.
It's I don't even know where to start. It's you have to find any truth and go off of it. But yeah, there's just like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
The fuck are we gonna do with that guy's statement?
That's what's funny is like a lot of these arguments are so crazy, but that was like a deep cut within an argument where like there are just these lines that come out where it's like, wait, what?
But they breeze by. They're already 2 topics away.
Yeah.
You were
And
like,
it's just
wait, hold on.
Yeah. Whoa, let's just sit on this for a minute. But no, just kind of breeze by it. Also, last week we kind of talked about how Colin Cowherd and Skip Bayless were saying they kind of go on and off about how Mahomes is overrated. And a lot of it, what they point to, I've heard Colin say this a lot, how like he's all about these no-look passes. He just sounds like this young whippersnapper with his no-look passes.
He's all about him.
Yeah,
He's behind the back, tutti frutti, no look, blind. He's blind as a goddamn bat out there using his sonar. Fucking weirdo.
Like,
He's a weirdo.
A, they just sound so old, and B, Skip also said something about a sophomore slump this year. And again, it's week 1, but I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes looked pretty fucking good this week.
Yeah, at worst, he's the second best quarterback in the league. His
Yeah.
sophomore slump, he's still like an MVP candidate.
At worst. At best, maybe the I don't want to say best quarterback of all time. That's ridiculous. Like I
Who
hate
knows?
it when I mean, he could be, but like I again, that's why I hate all these guys because they say shit like that where it's like, settle down, let's see how it plays out. But I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. Let's keep it moving. Skip. Oh, this is great. Skip and Shannon were talking about the Browns and how it's gonna be hard for OBJ and all the Jarvis and all those guys to be satisfied with targets and getting.
There's
the
only
receptions.
one ball.
Yeah. There's only one ball. Wait, what?
Only-
What if I've been doing a sports podcast for a few months now and I'm like, there's how many balls?
I swear to God, there's one. No, Doug, there's one ball. In football, actually all the sports, I don't know how many. Most sports actually only have one.
Yeah.
Are there any sports with more than one ball?
Well, I play this game where we're going to play this afterwards where
Perfect.
We just take I'll show you the stick later.
Yeah.
It's actually a giant dildo, but I'm going to
That's
have
what
you
that is.
bash me in the dick in the balls, my 2 balls with
Sure.
a giant dildo and until I bleed out. And yeah. So that counts, right?
No, we started early, so yeah, I have time to do that for sure. Yeah, I'll crush those shits.
Let's do it. I'll pull it out in a minute. But what was I talking
Can
about?
we mic your balls as
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hit it?
Oh,
with,
yeah,
what did you
absolutely.
call it? A giant
Dildo.
Sure. And I don't use that word.
Yeah, Mikey, it's in that drawer. If you don't mind going over to that drawer, it's over there.
And by the way, it's the drawer that looks like a casket for a human being.
Yeah, grab the dildo. It's in that middle drawer over there.
Thank you.
But
Thanks, man. I know this isn't part of your job.
So he was. They were talking about like how they're not going to be like happy with the targets.
Right.
But
Like, careful.
Shannon also said that he doesn't want to play. He didn't want to play with his brother Sterling Sharp because of that very like it's hard to play with friends. And I love that Skip Bayless fucking.
Yeah, don't hurt your back.
Skip Bayless agreed that it is hard to play with friends, like because like there's ego involved and all that. I just thought it was really funny that Skip Bayless pretended like he had friends.
Yeah, of course. Right. Like, how would he? Yeah, no, it's hard to because you guys are like so tough on each other and angry and relate. Like he's he fucked your mother and that's why you exist. Like I think you're explaining your shitty relationship with your father. Skip. I don't know. That's not what a friend is. And pretending like he knows what a friend is.
There's no way he has friends, right?
No.
There's no way.
God, now I'm picturing if he would. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Because what, are you going to ignore that guy's career? Like, so, let's say Skip's awesome away from the camera.
Yeah.
You still see this piece of shit every day.
Yeah. You're like, you can't ignore how shitty. If it was all a pretend thing, there's just no way to like say that's okay.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't think I would take the money to do that.
Exactly.
And I need that money. Like,
yes, exactly.
I couldn't fucking do it.
It's so just soul selling.
Fucking cunt. Can you say cunt anymore? I just did it.
No, it's good.
We're not editing that out. Oh, here's a Eagles question. Skip said that Dak Prescott will definitively have a better QBR this year than Carson Wentz. What do you think?
No, because QBR does not take into account season-ending injuries, and that was a self-deprecative joke. But
Hey,
yeah,
that's another realistic fan.
exactly. Thank you. Yeah, I feel really good about Wentz this year. I mean, just from
Yeah, I
a
think so.
weapon standpoint of like not even being a homer, but and
No, you
here's-
guys are loaded.
It's a really, I mean, he has Alshon Jeffrey. He has Deshaun Jackson was incredible the
You guys
other
got
day.
Jordan Howard, and everybody's acting like that's not.
He's really
Why
good.
is he like a throwaway pickup? He's fucking great.
He's great.
He was like, if he didn't lead the league, he was close to it. Like in his first season, or like it's nuts.
He's a pro. Like it's really
Miles Sanders seems good.
our fourth wide receiver is a second round pick this year. Like it's really cool. So I don't know. Like if he stays healthy, there's no. I don't just by virtue if you gave Dak Prescott the same weapons, then that's
Right.
a conversation. But he just doesn't
I don't
have
think
the
it's a
same
conversation.
weapons. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be. Well, here's the thing. Again, I think Wentz is better. I think Dak is okay. I'm hoping Dak proves me wrong. I'm in a weird position.
Of
'Cause
course.
Skip is a big Dak fan. I'm a big Cowboys fan like Skip, but I don't fully agree with Dak on the Dak thing. But Dak had a perfect QBR the first game.
Right.
So right now he's up. But he also played the fucking Giants. But the only thing for me that makes me think he could have a better QBR is because they don't ask Dak to do a lot or take any chances.
That's interesting.
Wentz is more of a gunslinger. That's the only way it could happen. But also, who gives a fuck about QBR?
right.
Who is a better quarterback? Fucking Wentz. Easily. I'm a fucking Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
It hurts me
yeah.
to say it.
Yeah,
Wentz
of
is a
course.
great quarterback. He does get injured. That's a fucking problem, but we'll see. I don't know. I think he could also fucking stand up for a full season. I'm afraid. that this is
He's
the
lost a
season
lot
to
of
do it.
weight. Like he'll be fine, but it is interesting too where when you guys drafted Ezekiel Elliott so
Yeah.
high, that almost it's a very unique problem where you don't see this is what makes them so scary as an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
You have these two incredible young players who are like very similar in age, but you just paid a running back a lot of money, and running backs
right.
don't make a lot of money in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
NFL.
yeah.
And then now you're about to pay this quarterback a lot of money, and it's rare that most of a team's money in terms of star players are in a running back and a quarterback.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Like maybe that's the right thing to do. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting litmus test of.
I think I read up on the Zeke contract, and this is I was like, we signed him for 50 years. What the fuck are we doing? But if you look deep, I think it's like just 2 or 3 years before we can cut him or whatever.
yeah.
And it's only if he fucks up off the field, like I think 30 million of that is gone.
Oh, that's smart.
So there's actually like Jerry Jones, and this is great. All these contracts, he's been signing all these guys long term, and I was like, what is Jerry Jones doing? He's fucking crazy. The CBA is about to come up, and contracts are going to go way up. So he's
Right.
actually trying to sign them because it's a fucking deal right now.
Yeah, that's why
And,
we
like,
did it with Wentz.
Yeah. That deal I thought was fucking great. You guys were smart on that. Look at
I
us
hope
being
so.
fucking
Look at us
cordial.
being mature men.
This is exactly what people don't want on a podcast.
This is actually the exact opposite of like Will Kane and Skip Bayless.
yeah.
Of like
We're
two people getting
gentlemen.
along. Yeah. It's like, oh, that was actually a very good point. I stand corrected.
Like, you got an Eagles fan coming on. Oh, this is going to get heated. Nope.
No,
Just-
quite cordial.
Yeah. Just complimenting each other nonstop.
You're a
One
great
more.
comedian as well, Doug. I want to bring that
Damn,
up
you're
as well.
so funny. We're going to talk about that later. Jason.
Your Fart Safari album, the most recent one, is
Oh,
fantastic.
thanks, man.
Yeah, of course.
The Fart Safari 3 is coming soon.
Hell yeah.
Jason Whitlock, another real quick take before we move on to the next segment, but he said, I don't know if you saw Cam Newton's latest outfit after the game, but Cam Newton was wearing this like kind of ridiculous. It looked like kind of like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, and he said that proves that he doesn't have any focus because he was dressed all crazy, which is the thing he's always done. And Marcel, Wiley said, you know, like that you have a guy that just fucking dresses you up. Like that's not.
Yeah.
I thought that was the dumbest fucking take. Like he always takes shots at Cam, and I don't fucking understand it. That doesn't prove fucking anything. He has a stylist. They're just like, hey, this is the outfit you're wearing. You like it? Yeah, I like it. That's that.
Yeah.
What?
If anything, it shows that he is focused.
Yeah.
If it was a great outfit,
Oh,
if
right,
he was dressed
yeah.
to the nines, it'd
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
oh yeah, then he is clearly more distracted with his clothing.
Wait,
but
did
if
you
he
say
looks
clearly? Or are you doing a hot take?
oh no, I think I just had more saliva in my mouth than I expected.
Hot take.
Yeah. Oh god.
Cam
it's
Newton is
steaming hot.
gay. You
That's
heard
right.
it first.
That's right. North Carolina, huh? Get used to that shit.
I don't think Cam Newton's on the field like, oh, what am I gonna wear later? And he's digging through his locker from all his wardrobe outfits and like, oh Jesus, he's at halftime thinking about it. Like
His play calling armband is actually just like swatches to like paint his apartment, just different color paints.
he's like looking on that Amazon app where you can see where the furniture goes in your fucking place.
Right. That's what's on those fucking tablets.
And now
I didn't need to tag that with a joke. You had it.
No, it was great. We're gonna do the most. What's funny is I have this like segment about like embarrassments from the week before, but this is all embarrassing for them. I love it when these guys try to be hip and make references that just fail so hardcore. And my two favorites this week, I don't like make fun of Trey Wingo ever because I feel like their morning show is more straightforward sports and real information. But they don't do any hot takes. But Trey Wingo made a reference to Casey Kasem last week, and it's like if you're trying to get a younger audience, I don't think that's a thing you should throw out there.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and then Will Kane made a reference to I guess they made it into the LA market with some new affiliate, and he was like, yeah, in honor of that, I was out in LA and I got a George Hamilton tan. Do you even know who that? I know who that is barely. He's an old actor. He's a very tan.
No idea.
He's known for his tan. He's like an old school Hollywood actor. But I was like, I bet 4 people. I kind of get it, and maybe 3 other people maybe get it.
I feel like he's too young to make that reference.
Yeah,
as well.
but he's got the fucking soul of a fucking 110-year-old. That's the problem. Right. He's the Gran Torino guy. All right, and Dak versus Zeke. This is funny. They were talking about Dak versus Zeke on Undisputed. Skip said something about like he always says Dak is the engine of the team, not Zeke, which is so fucking stupid. And he said if Zeke was as valuable as Shannon says he is, why didn't he hold out for even more money? Because that's how the fucking market works. Like he's not an idiot. And he was like he could have just held out until they cut 5 players. And
because that's what's standing in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
And
practice team
and
players.
So Shannon was like, well, how would that? Who are they gonna fucking sign? Like, how are they gonna replace those guys? And he said, well, they could, in a mocking voice, he said they could sign Shannon Sharp and watch one of his weightlifting videos. And if you haven't seen it, Shannon does post pictures, like video of him lifting weights. But I just love the deep cut of like Skip is clearly so jealous that Shannon is so much more ripped than him.
Right.
When Skip works out, he's in great shape for a fucking 100-year-old.
For sure.
But I just love that he had to take that fucking jab. And like,
so petty.
Yeah. I really think that he probably goes home to his wife and he's like, I'm more muscular than Shannon, right? You know, like I think he really thinks that.
I think that it probably causes, some sort of insecurity that his wife makes him wear a Shannon Sharp mask when they have face-to-face sex. Exclusive. And he's allowed to take it off when they reverse it, but he doesn't.
Yeah, but but he makes her wear a Tom Brady mask. So
right.
Yeah, they got
and that's why it works, and that's why they're celebrating anniversary after anniversary. There's something to be learned there.
And he also, I guess, Vernon Davis, this blew my mind, passed Shannon Sharp on some tight end record.
Oh, crazy.
And he threw that as a dig. Like, I think it was today. Just like, hey, did you hear? And Shannon, I don't think actually knew. It was just like a weird, like, you're talking shit on a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And your whole career is your garbage.
Right. Shannon Sharp's worst mistake was being successful at something.
Yeah,
being good at something.
Or
and
being
that's why
on that show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess that would be it.
And I showed you earlier 2 posts. Guys, everybody go to Skip Bayless's Instagram. Please.
Don't follow him. Just look at it.
Don't follow him.
Yeah, don't
My
follow
buddy
him.
Rob followed him. He apologized for it. He was like, I don't think this is the way it should work, but he talked shit on him. I love seeing that. You guys pointed out to me. I thought it was beautiful to see everybody making fun of him, but there was a post after they signed Zeke where he was smiling. He looked insane. I showed you that post. He did the eat Zeke eat little thing, and it was maybe the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It made me sick. Like, it is so where he doesn't start. He doesn't break eye contact when he looks into your soul through the phone.
Yeah.
But he doesn't start right away. But it takes a second before he starts going into the bit of the eating thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that second and a half before he starts, he's just kind of staring with like his.
Yeah.
He's not smiling. And he doesn't have lips, so so it's just this fucking freak serpent just staring at you with like the hair of an ant, you know. But it is really upsetting.
Oh my God, these are some deep descriptions. I love it. And the other one was the right before the Cowboys game. He just had a picture of him flexing his biceps and said, "I'm ready" or something like that.
He was
very ready.
He fisted himself right before he was ready.
Yeah, that was a Facebook Live video that got flagged. Him fisting himself.
Yeah, that was taken down.
Yeah,
by that reputable company.
You know what's crazy is I bet that Skip probably was in his fucked up egotistical head. He probably thought Dak Prescott, my favorite best friend, is gonna see this post in the locker room right before the game. And that he's probably in his head like, I'm responsible for his perfect QBR today.
Yeah. Dak needed a boost. And thank God he stumbled across that photo. Or else you guys would have lost, I would imagine.
Oh, he injected his dick with steroids. What? I don't even know what that means. Is that a thing?
Is it weird that I didn't bat an eye at what you just said? Yes.
Prick Picks is a segment I do where I just want to let the listeners know that I did take down Will Cain's division winners last week, so we can revisit that later. Stephen A. Smith said the Cowboys will go 11-5. Max Kellerman said they'll go 10-6. Shannon Super Bowl pick Chiefs and Eagles. So your team's in there for Shannon.
Shit.
And then Skip said the Pats and Cowboys will be in the Super Bowl. By the way, he said the Pats will win, but he'll hang out on the sideline with the Cowboys during the game, which they would never allow that.
No, that's a great consolation prize.
Yeah,
if you're not going to win the Super Bowl, hang out with Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
And it's arguable which is better.
Yeah. And then he said he would celebrate with the Patriots when they won, which is just the shittiest thing a fucking fan
What a
could
weird
say.
guy.
But the few picks that I picked up from those guys, they didn't make all their picks for the weekend. But Skip Bayless said the Bears would win. So 0 for 1 there. And then he said the Cowboys would win, of course, and they won. So 1-1 so far. I'm going to try to keep track of all these things. I was 9-5. I forgot to I wasn't thinking ahead, but I was 9-5 with my picks. That's not including tonight's games. So we'll see. I picked the Texans, which last I saw, I don't know where that's going. And then I picked Denver. Moving on next week. All right, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Who you got?
Carolina.
Yeah,
for sure.
Carolina, me as well. I got Dallas and Dallas versus Washington. Who do you got?
Dallas.
Dallas, yep. Indy, Tennessee. Who you got?
Indy.
Yeah, me too. I started to go with Tennessee, but I think Indianapolis
Indy's
is gonna
good, man. I think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
really good.
You can't
Or they're-
not pull for
yeah, they're
Brissett
good.
with all that shit.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Seattle. What do you think?
Oh, shit. That's a good one. I'm going to say Pittsburgh. I don't think they're as
Yep.
bad as
Yeah,
they
me
showed.
too. I think they'll get their shit together. This is a fucking tough week, by the way. Buffalo and the Giants.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going Buffalo.
I'll go Giants.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't care. But,
That's a tough one.
I can be very easily talked out of that.
Yeah. New England and Miami, definitely Miami.
There's no way to know for sure. Yeah, no bet.
God,
That's a stay away
You know what's
for
crazy
me.
though is Miami has had their fucking card for the last
Yeah,
few
they
years.
have. What
but
if?
I don't think there's any fucking chance.
Rosen, baby.
But I will be stoked if my pick is wrong there. Jacksonville and the Texans. I got the Texans.
Me too.
Yeah, and Foles is out. Minnesota and Green Bay. That's a really brutal one.
I'll go Minnesota.
Yeah,
They look good.
I'm going Green Bay. Kirk
Where's
Cousins
the game?
had like 8 yards or something. He had like fuck.
God,
I
that's
don't remember.
another guy who got so much guaranteed money.
Yeah, shit. Man, that guy played his fucking cards right.
I saw someone at a bar wearing an authentic Washington Redskins Kirk Cousins jersey, and it was like, oh my God, that is $325 poorly spent.
Jesus.
Away. It wasn't even their
man.
home jersey. It was a white jersey. The whitest jersey you could possibly buy.
Fucking poor guy. He's like, I have to wear this for the value.
Yeah.
The Chargers versus Detroit Chargers.
Chargers?
San Francisco and Cincinnati.
Oh, Christ. Cincinnati.
I can go San Fran.
Yeah.
I'm not writing any of this down. I've got mine, but I'll write yours down later. Arizona and Baltimore, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. KC and Oakland. KC.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty definitive. The Rams in New Orleans. I'm going Rams, but
Me too.
yeah. Chicago, Denver. Going Chicago.
Yep.
Philly and Atlanta. We both got Philly.
I hope.
I think. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Atlanta kind of shit the bed, but I think they're a better team than that.
They're
but
not that bad, and they'll be home. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait, it's at Atlanta?
I believe so. Yeah.
Cleveland and New York. I think Cleveland's going to... Oh, the Jets. I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that. So we got all those picks and wanted them out there so I can be held accountable. I don't fucking promise shit. But I don't give a fuck. Skip Bayless does.
Yeah.
I have no ego. I have a little bit of ego. Rumor of the week. At this point, it's a newer segment. We start a rumor about Skip Bayless. What do we want to go with this week?
So I want to start a rumor about like whatever oil he oils himself with, and that it's actually made of children's sweat. So he bottles the sweat of kids and he smears it on himself to make him look stronger, and he thinks he's like bringing their youth like, through his pores. That's just something I heard.
That I heard that as well.
Right.
And I don't even think that's a rumor. You guys heard that here.
Yeah.
And please put that out there. Skip Bayless oils himself up with the sweat of children?
I believe it was the sweat of kids.
Sweat and tears of children.
Oh, and tears are extra. That's the that's the top shelf
Yeah,
formula
yeah.
that he uses. Yeah.
Ah, man. God, what a garbage human being, for real.
I can't believe he does that shit.
Jesus Christ. Like
It's bad enough.
and you know what's fucked up is like, he did that rumor about Aikman being gay in the 90s. Like, we could just write a book about Skip Bayless.
Did he
doing
really
this.
do that?
Yeah, he like
That's fucking
fanned the flames
ridiculous.
of it. It was
What a pig.
Barry Switzer actually was the person that started it.
Sure. That
And
makes
Skip
that checks
Bayless ran like no one would have known that. But Skip Bayless was like, I'm on it.
out. Oh, don't worry. Oh, actually, we don't want anyone to spread that rumor.
Yeah.
No, I'm on it.
Yeah.
We got this.
So he was so we should just write a book.
Yeah.
I love this segment. Just want to ask you what you think, kind of in the same vein. What do you think Skip Bayless's like main hobbies are?
Oh boy. Like fucking, like those concrete blocks. I like to picture that he just picks them up and moves them from one end of his backyard to the other, not in really any practical way. It's not a wall. It's just it looks like something in someone's yard where like, oh, they had work done on their house and they haven't cleaned that up yet.
Yeah.
But he's had it for 15 years and he likes cycling them back and forth over and over again. Pulling the claws out of lizards, like out of their feet. I think that's a big hobby of his. I think he really
Is that
likes
a
that.
thing that anyone does?
He does it.
Yeah.
And screaming at clouds.
Oh,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah, because they're not making the shapes that he wants. So those three.
That doesn't look like Tom Brady's cock.
Yeah, right.
I can't jerk off to this.
I can't jerk off to this fucking bullshit, cumulus horseshit, cunt.
Fuck you, God. Oh, we'll have to revisit Skip Bayless at church on another podcast. soon.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't know how we'll go on from that.
Probably like choke squirrels to death or something.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
That could be a thing.
And he doesn't have to use both hands, but he does.
Yeah. He just wants to make sure.
Yeah.
And he whispers weird poetry to them while he does it.
And he wears like a throwback Shannon Sharp jersey as well. Just to complete the experience for himself. Imagine that.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Ah, man.
Can't believe he does that stuff.
That's so fucked, man. So, hey, man, I guess that's the podcast. Dude, I like to end on just smearing him completely.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sued for sure at some point.
That's fine.
But the whole thing is his whole career is shitting on other people. Fucking if you can't take the heat or if you can't take the kitchen, get out of the heat.
Take off the apron, brother.
Yeah, get a. If you can't take the heat, go get a gun.
Go to hell.
Go.
Yeah.
If you can't take the heat, make some breakfast tacos. I think that's the saying, right?
That's it. It should be.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Dude, Blake, you were awesome. Blake Wexler.
Thank you.
Dude, your new album, you got a great new album out. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Not a minute.
But
I'll talk about it
for a minute.
for at most 4 seconds. It's called Stuffed Boy. And there's another album called the Blake album, and then 12 Years of Voicemails from Todd Glass to Blake Wexler.
That's
is
so
another
good.
album. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah,
and where
that's what
can
I have.
people find you?
At Blake Wexler everywhere and blakewexler.com.
The new album's great.
Thanks, man.
Explain the you kind of get the idea from the voicemail thing, but talk about that first.
I met comedian Todd Glass like 15 years ago, I guess now, like 14 years ago. And he was very kind, and he was like a mentor, and we became friends. But I would save his voicemails to me, where Todd takes this approach to voicemails where he approaches it almost like a mini comedy special where he prepares bits and sometimes has sound cues, and I would save them at first because I was like, oh shit, like this famous comedian to me is leaving voicemails I want to show my friends. And then I kept saving them, and then they were funny, and I would just save them, and then I built up like an hour's worth, so we like released it I guess like a year ago.
Great.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, he's so funny.
Give it up for this Eagles fan, such a good gentleman.
Thanks,
just
Doug.
a good guy. We don't talk shit to each other.
No. What else do you want?
Thanks for listening. We're going to watch the shitty Raiders game minus Antonio Brown. The one thing they had going for them that was the worst thing. I don't know. I was pulling for that Keelan Doss fella during
How was he
Hard
not
Knocks.
picked?
Yeah. But everybody look for John Gruden's weird tan on his neck.
That's right.
Pointed out by Blake. And be sure. Oh, I'll be at the Santa Fe, the Cloud Top Comedy Festival this week, starting Thursday. A couple days away. And rate, subscribe, tell your friends, message me, tell you what you loved, tell me what you tell you what you loved.
Mm-hmm.
Tell yourself what you loved. Tell me what you loved. Tell me what you hated. Give me a shout. Love you guys. Peace out. Later.